Good morning. How are we doing? Having a good morning. I just want to just talk about how did I end up moving to England, the main idea and why it happened. And so basically, I had an opportunity to go work in Switzerland about 8 years ago, and I went to go work there. I stayed in Switzerland, stayed in Germany, worked in Switzerland. And I did that for about 6 months, and I stayed on an extra month, basically, like 2 weeks or 3 weeks. And I took on another job while I was there anyway, but it was also quite interesting that. So after returning back from Switzerland, I got used to basically the lifestyle there, where everything is like open and free, and like people's garages, you look like it's not normal in South Africa when you look down at someone's yard and you can see the whole. All the power tools and equipment, like you can just walk on, pick up walk on and then pick up something and just walk away with it. Like it's you don't get that in South Africa. Everything's all walls, high walls, electric fencing, security. That's how it is. Pardon me. That's how it is. And so living like in Switzerland, like where everything is just basically, I felt like free in a way, like everything is just like relaxed and safe. Like you never think anyone's following you or something going on or whatever. None of that crap. Like in South Africa, you always have to be a bit on your toes, always be a bit more aware. South Africans will know what I'm talking about. You just have to be a bit more streetwise. Just always make sure you know what's happening in your surroundings. It's one of those things. It's life. We grew up like that, thinking that's life is normal. It's not. So by me experiencing, taking the chance, going through and working in Switzerland, I got to feel and live like, hey man, this is what I think life should be like. Shouldn't be living like we do to a point, like the safety wise I'm talking about now, that part of it. And so when we got back, my father-in-law's brother passed away, so we had to go identify the body in one of the busiest morgues in Johannesburg. So we went to the morgue. I was second in line. We got there about 8 o'clock in the morning. We were second, or just before 8. We were second in line. We only got served at 2 o'clock in the afternoon. This is the busiest morgue in Johannesburg, so that we could go identify the body. So, but in between, while we were waiting, we had a lot of guys coming up to us and saying, listen, we can get you to the line quicker if you want. Like, about happened about 3 times. People asked us, do you need help? We can get you to the front of the line. We know someone that can. So basically, they want like a little bit of a bribe. Like they say, give us a cold drink. So it's like a bribe. So, and I was like, no, it doesn't matter. We'll wait our turn. Nothing. We're second in line. What's the worst can happen? 2 o'clock we got served. And that's what pissed me off. I was like, nah, man. If this is this department, I know how the rest is being run. How everything's just. It's a big fuck up. That's what's going on. The country's not run right, and you can fight when you can say what it is, but if in your heart of hearts, as a South African, you know the country's not being run right, no matter what political party you come from. It is what it is, and it has changed for better. What it is after apartheid and all that kind of jazz, for sure. I don't blame it, but it's just the country's gone downhill straight after the new government took over in 1994. Just steadily. So like Mandela's team that time, that was the A team that took over South Africa. They ran the country still basically to a good standard. Second was the B team when Mbeki came into power, and then all the way down till the basically whatever team they're on now. It's like so that's basically, it's the truth. It's nothing. It is the truth. The country's not running at the moment. When I look back home at the moment, there's no water. The pipes haven't been maintained. Electricity blackouts, like goes out for like a couple of hours a day, or sometimes goes out for a couple of days. Water, like in my part where I stayed in Brixton, South Africa as well. They don't have water sometimes for a week now at the moment, or a couple of days at a time. They don't have water for, and that's the worst thing. Without power, you can still carry on, but without water is a mission. Bottom line is that the country's not being run right. That's a fact. Anyway. So I decided then there, when I spoke to the wife, that let's move, and she said, go ahead, do what you need to do. I then, that following day, I went to the Home Affairs, and because basically we needed to get the whole process of me as a Portuguese citizen, and she's got a South African ID or passport. I need to get married to her to basically so we can get the file rolling to prove that so that we can move to the Portugal, the UK. We weren't sure exactly at the moment, but they want to get the ball rolling. So I literally went to the Home Affairs because I went upstairs that day, fucked me around. That's another problem. We went to the Home Affairs there, is where you get your ID books and that. You go to the bottom floor, you ask what floor do you go to book for marriages, they tell you a certain floor. Then the lift wasn't working. This is like true stuff now. Then the lift's not working. It's a massive building, like I don't know, 20 floors or whatever, 30 floors in central town, Johannesburg CBD. Then I had to go to I think I went up to the 4th floor for example. Then they told me, no, it's not the 4th floor, it's the 6th floor. And then after waiting in line for like 5 minutes or whatever, because it's quite busy there now. Then I go to the 6th floor, wasn't the right floor, I had to go to the floor above, and then it's okay. Then finally I found this is where I'm supposed to be. Went in, asked them, I would like to get married, and they said, when would you like to get married? I said, when is your next availability? He looked on the book, and he said, next week Wednesday is available. I said, thank you very much, book it in. I phoned my wife, and I told her we're getting married next week Wednesday. So that's how it worked. I know. So that's another story on its own. She had to explain why she got married. They probably thought she was pregnant or whatever it was. But anyway, so we got married, got the paperwork done. We had to submit like a massive file with people from Breitenbach attorneys. So fortunately, we were basically on the verge of basically looking to buy a house. So we had a good deposit. And we thought, okay, let's use that for basically the whole move, to relocate, the flights, to pay for a couple of months of rent or whatever it is, or just so we settle in. And when we started doing our homework, well, we had to go to Portugal. The thing is, for her, she'll struggle to speak Portuguese. So I can speak Portuguese well, but to read and write, I'm like, comme ci, comme ça. And so we ended up deciding to go to England because her best friend moved over a couple of years prior to she was there probably another, I'm not 100% sure, but probably about maybe 8 years more. 8 years. She was already been in England before we moved over, or 9-10 years. And so she said, no, come over, because my wife kept chatting, they kept in touch in school. So we moved over, and we stayed with them for about 2 weeks or so in their house, which I'm very grateful for. It's very special what they did for me. I'll never forget it. And so we stayed with them for 2 weeks, and then we found our first place, and that's how we ended up moving to the UK. Basically, prior to COVID, also helped. So 2019 we moved over. So prior to COVID, so it basically gave us a better, like we ended up getting something called indefinite leave to remain. So we can stay here indefinitely now, no problem. We don't need the British passport. It's not a problem. I can get it if I want, but it's going to cost me like an extra £1,000 and do an English test. So I don't know if it's viable, because the Portuguese passport, I think, in my opinion, it's got a bit more power. You can travel more now freely through Europe. Even though with the English passport, you can go like, I think, 3 months without a visa. So it's not that bad. So that's my little morning of why I moved to England. Thank you for watching. Like and subscribe if you enjoy the story. I think I'd like to do some more of these like little personal little things about myself. It's no use walking around just filming and telling you about where I am. People want to get to know who you are. And yeah, guys, thank you very much if you're still with me and still watching. I really appreciate it. And I hope you have a lovely day, and I'll speak to you soon. Cheers. Still using my little Men in Black pen. Bye.